Hi guys, and welcome to this new episode of Inspirations. That's your podcast about knitting and yarn dyeing, especially the yarn that I dye and that I sell in my Etsy shop. So, welcome for episode 2 of season 3. It's always a pleasure to, have a little moment with you and chat about what's up in the shop. So maybe you're new here, so first of all, thank you very much for checking me out. Some of you might have tried to watch the podcast after seeing the giveaway on Imagined Landscape Instagram feed. So yeah, I'm part of the team of indie dyers for this new mystery cowl that will be starting in a bit more than in 2 weeks now, I think. Welcome. And just to introduce you to Tricot Stitch, so that's my username almost everywhere on the internet. That's also the name of my Etsy shop, which is updated once a week on Mondays at 5 p.m. Paris time. The newsletter goes out as well at 5 p.m. On Mondays. It's a great way to keep in touch. I'm giving news about the shop, about the podcast, about me a bit as well. You'll get to know what's new in the shop before anyone else. And also, the shop is updated once a week on Mondays at 5 p.m. So, welcome! And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much. Again, it's my little moment of the week where I sit down with my coffee, my knitting, and I chat about yarn, the thing that I love most, and knitting. Yeah. So first of all, I wanted to give you the name of the winner of the Ep2 Fanfare for August. So it's Tricot 90, and Jocelyn played on Ravelry this time. So congratulations, Jocelyn! You win a skein of the Sock Knitter's Almanac colorway for August. That's my taille bleu, on the base of your choice. Just have to get in touch via email and we'll arrange everything. And if you want to play along, that's very easy. You just have to use this hashtag on Instagram or post a picture on the thread, on Ravelry, so you have all the links in the notes of this episode. And you need to post a picture of your ongoing or finished project using Tricot Stitch yarn or Tricot Stitch pattern to enter the giveaway, and it's a monthly giveaway. So for this month, the prize is 1 skein of the September colorway of the Sock Knitter's Almanac. That's Clafoucake, which I presented last week. So, so today for you guys, it's Monday the 13th. It's still Friday for me. Wow, it's been the first week of the first whole week. I'm very sorry about the background noises. My neighbor is making works in his house, and I'm afraid we'll have to endure a bit of background noise. I hope it won't be too much. But yeah, the first whole week of work and school for the kids and work for me. And this morning I dropped my youngest at school, so it's kindergarten basically, and there was a little girl in front of me, and I remember her from the first days of kindergarten, where she was quite the only kid who was not, she was not, crying and screaming for her mom. She was just happy to go to school and just jumping around and very eager to go to school and to get started. And this morning she was like, no, she wouldn't go there. She was like crying when everyone was faring better with their kids, because I mean, every kid is crying out loud on the first days. And that one, she was like, no, she was not having it today. And I was like in the same mood. I was like very happy to be back at work and to start the new year, the new school year. And I was like full of energy and full of well, yes, full of energy. And this, at the end of the first week, I'm completely empty, batteries dead. And I just want to go back on summer break. So yeah, that was a difficult first week, but hopefully the weekend will help, and I will start the new week fresh and full of energy again, I hope. It's the little things, really. And yeah, this week a lot of things went awry. My electric ball winder broke down, and then all things, you know, nothing really important, nothing really critical, but just things that makes everything go slower and feel more difficult. And yeah, I'm ready for this week to be over, really. So, but it's a whole new week for you guys, and I wanted to share with you a project I'm very happy and proud of, and I'm super happy to be updating the shop today with kits to knit your own Réconfort. So Réconfort is a pattern that I designed a year ago. To put you back into the context of that moment, it was exactly 1 year ago. It was, I think, exactly the same time of year, like, you know, school just started, battery is dead. And on top of that, there was the COVID crisis in full swing. And really, I remember 1 year ago, I was a bit down. I was feeling a bit down. I was feeling a bit sad. I was feeling, you know, not very myself. And I needed comforting. And so I decided to cast on a project with no pressure, no link to work whatsoever. Just something for myself, something very simple that I would enjoy knitting and that would bring me comfort. And that's how Réconfort was born, okay? It's not even my yarn. It was souvenir yarn from vacations 5 years ago that I bought in the country in France when I was on holidays in 2016 in the center of France in Auvergne. And I bought some, you know, just pure wool and some mohair and silk at a farm in 2 different places. And I had them in my stash like forever. And so last year in September, I decided to cast on this shawl with that. And I enjoyed it so much. And I shared it with you on the podcast. And you were very enthusiastic, very supportive. You were like, I want to knit one for myself. I too need some comforting. So I decided to write up the pattern and because I'm an indie dyer, that's the cool part of the thing, I decided to dye kits for you guys and enable you to knit your own Réconfort. So it fulfilled its mission perfectly. I enjoyed knitting that tremendously. It's such an easy knit, really. It's a triangular shawl, the most classic shawl you can ever knit. It's garter stitch and a very simple lace pattern on very big needles. It's 6.5 millimeters needles, so it knits up very quickly. It's very simple. You just really once you've knitted the first rows, you don't need the pattern anymore, and it's designed to make you finish your yarn basically, so that you don't have any leftover. Because you can just, you know, knit the garter stitch border until you run out of yarn. So for all those reasons, it's a something very close to my heart that I love. It was a wonderful experience knitting that. There is a lot of good memories associated with this pattern, with this shawl actually, because I remember we were so fed up with the we're at that time of year. I mean, we had enough, and my husband and I decided to take the kid on a weekend just back from summer vacation, and we said, okay, screw that, we're just going to go on a weekend, and we rented a little cottage with a chimney, and I knitted this by the fireplace with a tea and the kids by my side, arguing, of course, but anyway, it was cool. And I have such fond memories, and so I wanted to share that with you guys, if in case you're like me and at this time of year you're both excited with the new year but also exhausted because there's so much to do. So the second Réconfort was born, though this one knitted out of Tricot stitch yarn. So what I did is that was a base I wanted to test for a long time. It was a DK with tweed, and so I decided that they would go together very well actually, DK tweed together with this pattern and mohair and silk. And so yeah, that's the idea for the kids. So here it is up close. You can see the yarn, you can see the thread of mohair is dyed together with the yarn, but it has a slightly different color. So, and it's lovely. And what I like very much about this base and this version is that the DK tweed base is at the same time very, very soft and very dense and sleek. And I'm loving the way it feels. It's like it's almost liquid. It's gorgeous. So I prepared a lot of kits for you guys to knit your own Réconfort. So I'm going to show you the colors. You will see the color palette is really fall inspired. So that's really what I wanted to, you know, communicate. I wanted to communicate a feeling of comforting, a feeling of being cozy, getting into autumn mood. And so the colors are really seasonal. And without further ado, I'm going to show them to you. So the first one is Bourbon, and it's a lovely ochre. And you can see that because that base is slightly on the gray side, it doesn't take the color exactly like the mohair and silk. For this example, it's pretty close. You will see on some other colorways the difference is much more important. So your kit to knit Réconfort is composed of 2 skeins of DK tweed, so that's 85% superwash merino and 15% Donegal nep, and it's 212 meters for 100 grams. So you'll need 2 skeins of DK tweed and 1 skein of mohair and silk. So that's 420 meters for 50 grams. Yeah. And so that's the first colorway, that's Bourbon. All the kits are available, or will be available on Monday at 5 p.m. The next color is Écureuil. It's a lovely shade of burnt orange, and I'm actually contemplating knitting a third one for myself because I'm going to host a curl for this pattern. So this is Écureuil, and this is currently my favorite. I just need one. You can see how beautiful it would look in that colorway. So again, you can see the mohair and silk is not exactly the same color, but it gives a little more depth to the finished project, having the mohair and silk not exactly the same color, but they were dyed together. For all the kits, I decided to go ton sur ton. stay the same colors, and I dyed the 3 together each time. Ah, I mean, my neighbor has been doing works, and this is not very noisy. He has been conducting works in his house for 1.5 years now. I mean, it's not the Winchester Mansion, but it's close. Okay. The next colorway is oatmeal. And I'm so sorry about the noise, guys. I'm going to stop and record later because he's basically doing that every day, and it's only on Sundays afternoons that we have a break. So I have to do it anyway. Otherwise, I won't be recording the podcast at all. This is oatmeal. Lovely neutral shade. Oh, also I decided to dye mostly semi-solids for this pattern because I think that it suits the pattern better, and because the yarn has already a lot of visual interests with the Donegal nep, I didn't want to, you know, add a lot of variegation to the yarn because I think it would be lost. I mean, lace plus Donegal nep plus variegation, something would have, you know, we would have lost something in the process. So yeah. Then you have chestnut, and this is pretty different, right? Look at that up close. You can see that the silk thread is very close to the decay color, but the mohair has took the color very differently. It's pretty much on the colder side of brown, and this is much more warm. So this is chestnut, châtaigne in French. Then we have one with speckles, not variegated, but speckles. It's called blush. And I'm quite, you know, quite curious about how it would look. I will see. I can't wait to see you knitting your own, actually. This is an exhaustion colorway. So this is one thing that I do, is that I try to not waste anything. So when I have leftover dye from several dye sessions, I dye some, you know, random bases to exhaust the dye bath, because I'm reusing water again and again and again, and each time I'm exhausting the bath completely, so the dyeing bath. So this is one of my exhaustion colorways. So this is not repeatable, but I have several different exhaustion colorways, and usually they are quite interesting. Then I have this beautiful smoky pink purple. It's called Rosewood, and it's lovely for something more romantic. This is Silver Lining, beautiful pale gray. You can see I love how the Donegal neps look on this pale gray. It's beautiful. Then you have this one. It's the kit I used to knit my second Réconfort. So this is pretty dramatic in terms of difference of color. You can see that all the yellow that was in the dye went to the mohair. I don't know why. I mean, that must be a chemical explanation to that, but I don't know which one it is. I don't know. I have no clue. Then we have a beautiful dark blue. That's Black Sapphire. It's gorgeous. Jewel tones. Beautiful as well. I'm not a blue girl, but you guys made me enjoy blue more because you've been asking me a lot of blues, so I delved into blues for you, and I explored a lot of different blue shades, and I must say it's growing on me. Blue is growing on me. So this is Chinon. It's the name of a beautiful area in France, very famous for its castles and wine. More the wine, actually, I think. and it's a wine that I love. Then you have Darker Things, which is a charcoal grey with black, yes, black thrown in. And the last colorway is, I think, the most variegated you'll get in this update. It's Hybrides, and it's one of your favorite. I know that you guys love that colorway, so here it is. And there you have it. You have all the colors I've dyed for Réconfort. So I hope you love it. Because I'm having a very busy start of the school year with two big fibers, this fiber festival in October, I won't be taking pre-orders for 2 months. I think the next pre-order rounds will start in November. I will tell you more about that later, but unless you are in a desperate situation, like you're missing just one skein to finish up your projects or things like that, in that case, I will try to put you in between 2 sessions. Yeah, I won't be taking any pre-orders as of yet, so they will resume a bit later when I'm done with dyeing all the things that I've planned, because it's really important for me, even though I'm having 2 big festivals coming up, I don't want to, you know, close the shop. I know that not everyone is able to travel and to attend the festivals. Moreover, for you guys who are not my French audience, but very likely spread around the world, on that, if you would want to share with me from which country you're viewing the podcast, it would be very, very fun for me to read. But yeah, I'm thinking about you guys, and I just don't want to put the shop aside for the sake of the fiber festivals. So that's a lot of work, but I still have a lot of fun things planned for you. And but I have to still, you know, yeah, I cannot take pre-orders. I mean, I'm going to cut that short because it's going rounds and rounds, but the bottom line is that I can't take pre-orders I won't be taking pre-orders for 2 months. So I will let you know as soon as I'm ready to resume. My last festival of the year is end of October. I will be in the beautiful region of La Creuse at the end of the month for Halloween. It will be fun to be there for Halloween. And yeah, and then I will resume the pre-orders. Okay, so the Sock Knitters Almanac colorways, I will reopen pre-orders for those. Yeah. So that's for the kits, for the Réconfort shawl. So in terms of agenda, so today for you have the kits, and everything is dyed and ready to ship. And then the pattern will be published on September the 27th. That's a Monday. And then there will be a cal. So that's when I'm going to cast on with you guys, and it will start the following Sunday. So the cal will start on Sunday, October the 3rd, if you want to join in, and if you want to cast on. If you want to cast on by yourself, that's not a problem. You don't have to wait for the pattern for the cal to begin. The reason I'm starting the cal 1 week later after the date of the pattern release is that the first fiber festival is going to be on October 2nd and 3rd. And I know that several lovely customers will be buying their kits on the festival, and I wanted them to feel included in the cal and not be left behind. So the cal will start, I think I will confirm that in the newsletter, but it should be starting on October the 3rd, on the Sunday, if you want to cast on. And I've not decided yet when it ends. I think it will be maybe end of November or end of December, knowing that it's a very quick knit. My friend Letitia, who is renowned and famous for her speedy knitting, whipped this up in 2 days. But I mean, she really is a fast knitter. So yeah, so that's not a good example, but this is, for me, I am a very slow knitter and I don't have much time to knit. So for me, it's more like a month, because I'm knitting not on every day and maybe half an hour each session. So yeah, that would be 1 month for me. For a shawl, that's pretty quick. A shawl can go a long way with me. And that's it for this week, guys. Thank you again for watching the podcast, and I'll see you next week on next Monday to show you what I prepared for the kids for this Stephen West Shawlography mystery call, because this is coming up as well. And this is not something I'm going to, you know, give a pass on. I just want to be part of the fun as well. And last year I had a lot of fun putting together some kits for you guys that you loved. So I'm super happy to be doing that again this year. I still need to watch the video, and I will have a very busy week dyeing the kits I have in mind. And I will show that to you very soon, next Friday, I think. And you will see that on Monday. Okay, so take care, have a lovely week, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye, guys.